Hello and welcome to Clearview Television News. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. In the news, President Muhammadu Buhari signs Public Holiday Amendment Bill into law, marking the official recognition of June 12 as New Democracy Day. Nigeria welcomes Italian government support for recovery and repatriation of illegally deposited Nigerian assets in foreign countries. Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam refuses to scrap controversial plan to allow extradition to mainland China despite mass protests. And I am Rose Audu with the details of these and more. President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday assented to the Public Holiday Amendment Bill into law. The Senior Special Assistant on National Assembly Matters, Senator Ita Enang, briefed State House correspondents after signing ceremony. The new law, according to him, allows public holiday to be declared on June 12 every year, while May 29th will no longer be public holiday. May 29th will only be handing over date and working day.
President Muhammadu Buhari has just assented to the Public Holidays Amendment Act. This act declares June 12 of every year as a public holiday and Democracy Day in Nigeria. It amends the Public Holidays Act, which now removes May 29 of every year as a public holiday and now makes it June 12, the Democracy Day, to be a public holiday, in Nigeria from henceforth. That is the bill just assented to by Mr. President, which we are transmitting.
In line with the enactment into law of June 12 annually as Democracy Day in Nigeria, the federal government has declared Wednesday, June 12, 2019 as public holiday to commemorate the maiden National Democracy Day. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Georgina Ekoma Uhuria, who made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulated all Nigerians at home and abroad for the entrenchment of democratic rule in the country. According to a statement issued on Monday by the Director, Press and Public Relations, Ministry of Interior, Mohammed Manga, the Permanent Secretary called on Nigerians to continue to cherish the sacrifice made by heroes of democracy, particularly those who lost their lives in the struggle for the actualization of democratic governance in Nigeria in order to make the country a better place for all. She further called for the collaboration and cooperation of all Nigerians with the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari towards achieving our collective aspiration for the unity, peace and socio-economic development of Nigeria, and wished all Nigerians at home and abroad a happy Democracy Day celebration. Nigeria has welcomed the Italian government support towards helping to recover and repatriate illegally deposited Nigerian assets in foreign countries. President Muhammadu Buhari conveyed his appreciation for the support while receiving a delegation from the Italian Parliament led by Senator Vito Petrocelli, Chairman Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, at State House this Monday in Abuja. President Buhari commended the Italian government for demonstrating open-mindedness and willingness to cooperate with Nigeria on the issue of repatriation of stolen funds, while acknowledging the good wishes of the Italian government after his re-election victory. President Buhari told the delegation that his second term in office would consolidate on the progress recorded in the last 4 years in the country. He also used the occasion to remind developed countries to do the needful on reviving Lake Chad. The Italian ambassador to Nigeria, Dr. Stefano Pontosilli, who accompanied the delegation while conveying the message of the Italian government, had told the president that his home government is willing to cooperate with Nigeria 100% on illicit assets repatriation. Also speaking, the leader of the delegation, Senator Petrocelli, had told President Buhari that delegation included a Nigerian, Senator Tony Chike Iwobi, the first African to be elected into the Italian parliament. Senator Iwobi is a vice chairman, Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs. The president and the delegation, which also included Italian investors, discussed a range of bilateral and global issues, including migration, sustainable development goals, infrastructure development, anti-corruption, and the need to strengthen inter-parliamentary relationship between Nigeria and Italy. A new chairman has been appointed to head the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal at the Court of Appeal in Abuja. He is Justice Muhammad Garba, a Court of Appeal judge, who now takes over from the court's president, Zainab Bokachua, who recused herself after the opposition party, PDP, said she was likely to be biased. Clearview TV Magdalene Michael reports that Garba appeared on the 5-man panel for the first time on Monday.
The chairman of the panel said what he intends to do is to call over petitions to enable tribunal schedule them for hearing. He called for the cooperation of the parties in the case, which is time-bound, noting that since the time is already halfway gone, it was imperative that the case are heard swiftly. At the proceeding, counsel to the Coalition for Change C4C, which had challenged the election of President Muhammadu Buhari in the February 23rd election, Obed Ugu, said the coalition had withdrawn its petition.
As far as the petition is concerned, and I have to do the bidding of the petitioners. I have the instruction of the petitioners to withdraw the petition after the first petitioner had a net meeting and they decided to withdraw the petition. So I was instructed as much as that
Responding, counsel to the All Progressive Congress APC Festus Keyamo commended them for withdrawing their petition.
I think they have seen that the president, having reviewed the circumstances of the election, they have seen that the president won fair and square, and they saw that their petitions are going nowhere, and that's why they decided to withdraw the petition. Having said that, we expect the other petitioners to also see the light and also embrace the truth, and that's where we start. So we thank them for embracing the truth, haven't seen the light, and we expect the other petitioners to do so.
Counsel to the People's Democratic Party PDP Chris Uche insists that the case had always been between the PDP and the APC.
Lay your hand down.
We are not in that matter. We are not in that matter. We are not in any talk. I mean, arguably, you can see that there's just one main petition, and that is the petition elections.
Present at the proceedings were the vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Mr. Peter Obi, former EFCC chairman Malam Nuhu Ribadu, and Hope Democratic Party chairman, amongst others. The case was adjourned to Tuesday, the 11th of June 2019 for further hearing. In Abuja,
Magdalene Michael reporting for Clearview Television.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has again called on all relevant stakeholders to collaborate with the Commission to fight against human trafficking in the region. The Commission's Director in charge of Humanitarian and Social Affairs, Sintiki Tarfa, restated the plea this Monday in Abuja at the opening ceremony of the 12th Annual Review and Consultative Meeting of Member States on Human Trafficking. Clearview TV's Ife Olua Ishola was there and now reports.
Representatives from all ECOWAS member states are gathered here to carry out a peer review of policies and plans put in place to combat trafficking, with a view to assess the level of progress so far made and determine gaps that need to be addressed. The Director of Humanitarian and Social Affairs, Sintiki Tafa, represented here by Rahimat Momodu, while emphasizing on the aim of the meeting, encouraged participants to fully maximize the opportunity to dialogue on future priorities.
This year's meeting is the second employing the new report template for member states after adoption of a new plan of action by ministers in 2017. The aim of the annual review mechanism has always been the provision of a platform for peer review, cross-learning, and fostering improved collaboration between member states towards the acceleration of results. I ask that we fully take advantage of this forum in terms of our interaction over the next 3 days and in setting our future priorities and activities.
Later in an interview, Rahimat Mamadou called on all relevant stakeholders to join Nigeria's National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and the Commission in fighting against human trafficking.
You need to have other support environments for you to be able to combat trafficking in person. So what we're saying, don't leave trafficking in person to NAPTIP alone in the case of Nigeria. There are other ministries, other parastatals that should be concerned and involved actively.
Also speaking, NAPTIP's Director Legal and Prosecution, Abdurrahim Shoaib, says the 3-day peer review meeting will be utilizing a 5-piece framework in combating human trafficking in the region.
There is a framework, and that we are now trying to implement, because we put up together some ideas on how we can combat it, through policy, through protection, through prevention, through prosecution, and through partnership.
Human trafficking is the trade in humans by traffickers for the purpose of forced labor, sexual slavery, or commercial sexual exploitation. The annual strategic review meeting represents collective effort by governments within ECOWAS member states to secure the human rights and dignity of their citizens and all residents in the sub-region. Ifeoluwa Ishola, reporting for Clearview Television.
President Muhammadu Buhari has written the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Muhammad, to initiate the process of appointing 5 new justices of the Supreme Court. The President's decision was made public on Sunday in a statement by his Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu. The statement said it was in line with the government's agenda of repositioning the judiciary in general and Supreme Court in particular for greater efficiency, with a view to reducing the backlogs of appeals pending at the Supreme Court. Buhari also stated that he welcomed the voluntary retirement of Justice Walter Onogen, the former CJN, from service. The President thanked Justice Onogen for his service to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and wished him the best of retirement life. Meanwhile, the National Judicial Council has commended President Muhammadu Buhari for accepting the voluntary retirement of the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogen. The NJC gave the commendation at its emergency meeting on Monday, during which members deliberated on the President's decision in relation to Onogen's exit from the bench. NJC's spokesman, Soji Oye, said in a statement on Monday that members of the judicial body noted that Buhari's acceptance of Onogen's retirement was in line with its recommendation to the President on 3rd April 2019. The National Judicial Council on Monday confirmed President Muhammadu Buhari's acceptance of voluntary retirement of the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogen. Soji Oye, the Council's Director of Information, who disclosed this in a statement, said the President's acceptance of the retirement is in line with Council's recommendation to the President on 3rd April 2019. The President suspended Onogen on allegation of complexities surrounding his false and non-asset declarations, while the Code of Conduct Tribunal convicted him of the offences. Justice Tanko Muhammad was eventually appointed as acting CJN to fill in the gap created. You're watching Clearview Television News. The news continues after this timeout. Stay with us.
Wow! Ekide chewa gegedede je kuma gbomuwe ekide se odukane kedu kolonyogba ka awon dugbede hu amoma agbadufo onekele konubule manike koma alukuma gba bai alukuma ko ichiwa igala omikuna ka ishoma me kukojane igala de edomi sebo kugojile uchoma me igala nakina gowa oji television kide megba ekidere ma bino.
Welcome back. The chairman of the Presidential Task Team set up 2 weeks ago to remove trucks from port access roads and restore sanity, and former Commissioner of Transport in Lagos State, Kayode Okpeifa, has said the team has achieved the goals set out in the terms of reference outlined by the federal government when it was set up. Ogbaifa stated this at a joint press conference with the Nigerian Ports Authority, Nigerian Shippers Council, and other stakeholders in the port over the weekend. While praising members of the team for their effort at restoring sanity to Apapa, he stated that he was sure that if ongoing works on other truck parks are concluded and fully operational, the gridlock would be history. On his part, General Manager Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, Wale Musa, said his men have so far impounded 120 vehicles, warning that they are ready to fully enforce the law. The General Coordinator, Council of Maritime Truck Unions Association, and General Manager Operations, Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, Stephen Okafo, urged the federal government to immediately extend the tenure of the presidential task team, warning that not doing so would worsen the situation. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board says it has released results of a total of 15,490 more candidates who participated at its April 2019 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. The board made a disclosure in a statement signed by the board's head of media and information, Fabian Benjamin, on Monday in Lagos. It said that the results released on Saturday were part of the 34,120 it withheld, while announcing the release of the results on May 11th. A total of 1,886,508 candidates registered for the examination, including candidates in foreign centers. Out of this figure, results of only 1,792,719 candidates were released on May 11. JAMB had, during the release of the 2019 UTME results on Saturday, May 11, stressed that it would further probe the identity and involvement of some candidates who were suspected of being involved in one examination infraction or the other. As a result of these, the board has further cleared and released the results of 15,490 candidates in this category. The release follows the expert review of the cases in this category of candidates who were requested to upload certain credentials for scrutiny. President Muhammadu Buhari on Sunday expressed deep shock and sadness over the latest communities that have led to the death of the scores of villagers in 3 communities. The attacks, which occurred on Saturday, affected 3 communities in Raba local government area of Sokoto. According to a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garuba Shehu, the President, who condemned the attacks, assured his administration will not relent in the fight to neutralize terrorists, bandits and kidnappers around the country. The statement noted that President Buhari has already been briefed by the police authorities on the incident and the arrests made so far. The President, while condoling Governor Aminu Tambuwa and the people of Sokoto State over the incidents, also condemned the acts of terror being perpetrated against innocent citizens across the country. He also vowed to ensure that the perpetrators of the dastardly acts would be held accountable under the law. The President's response is coming against several such attacks being perpetrated daily across the country by kidnappers and armed bandits. The latest attack is also coming on the heels of last weekend meeting between the President and governors of the 36 states of the Federation, where the governors lamented the unprecedented plights of Nigerians in the hands of terrorists. The attacks have led security experts to suggest a more robust and responsive security arrangements at the state level that will eventually lead to the establishment of state police as a panacea to the inabilities of the Nigerian police force to adequately deal with the issue. The Nigerian Army Visual Facility at the weekend confirmed the claim by the terrorist group ISWAP that its propaganda media machinery has been destroyed by the military. This is also as ISWAP confirmed that 9 of its media and social media team, who are propaganda specialists for the terrorist group, were killed by the army during the operation to neutralize the terrorist media machinery. On its Twitter handle, the Nigerian Army said the annihilation of members of its media team further confirms that the army has decimated the group and they no longer have freedom of action. The army listed the names of the dead terrorists as Abu Huraria al-Barnawi, Ali al-Ghalam al-Kajiri, Abu Musab Muhammad, Mustafa al-Maiduguri, Abu Abdullah Ali al-Barnawi, and Abu Musa al-Kamaroni. Others are Ahmed al-Muhajir, Abu Ali al-Bamawi, Abu Kubayb bin Ahmed al-Barnawi, and Abu al-Ka'ab Maiduguri. The police in Ekiti State have arrested 4 suspects in connection with alleged murders, court activities, illegal possession of drugs, and acts capable of causing a breach of public peace. Police Commissioner Asuko Amba said in Ado-Ekiti on Monday that the suspects were arrested in different locations in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, and Oye-Ekiti. Mba said that one of the suspects, 33-year-old Babalola Kazim, who he described as a member of the Supreme IA confraternity, was arrested in Ado-Ekiti over alleged involvement in the killing of one Soji at Orita Blessing area, Okeila, Ado-Ekiti, sometime in December 2018, and Topegana at Atikanka area, Ado-Ekiti, in January 2019. The police boss also said that Kazim belongs to the group of armed men who shot at one Adebayo Adiola at Yahuze Babin shop at Okeila, Ado-Ekiti in 2018. He added that the suspect also on May 28, 2019, attacked a woman who he believed had evidence against him. Amba said that 2 other suspects, a university student, Richard, and an artisan, Kayode, who were members of the IA confraternity, were arrested at Oye Ekiti in the Oye Council area of the state for alleged conspiracy, courtesan, and conduct likely to cause a breach of peace. The police boss, who said the police were still on the manhunt for the fleeing members of the court group, said the 2 suspects were searched and a bag containing 2 UTC asses were recovered. The Lagos state government has taken over the prosecution of a dismissed police inspector, Olalekon Ogunyemi, charged with the March 31 murder of a football enthusiast, Kayode Johnson. Its Directorate of Public Prosecutions on Monday recommended Ogunyemi's prosecution in the High Court. Ogunyemi has been in prison custody since April 5, following his remand by an Ebute Meta magistrate court pending DPP's advice. The remand order was obtained by the police. When the case was mentioned Monday, Magistrate A.O. Salau noted that the DPP's advice had been received. She said it advised that Ogunyemi had a case to answer and indicated the state's intention to prosecute him at the High Court. The DPP, she added, advised that Ogunyemi should be prosecuted in accordance with Section 223 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2015. It also advised that the second suspect in the case, Godwin Oji, had no case to answer and should be released if still in custody. The magistrate adjourned till August 6 to enable the state to file the case before a high court. Ogunyemi of number 17 Alhaji Ede Street, Igando, was brought before the court on April 6 on a temporary 1-count charge of murder. Unidentified gunmen on Sunday night killed one Sheni Kimati, a 25-year-old 200-level student of the Department of Geography, Plateau State University, Bokos. DSP Tena Tiobe, the police public relations officer in the state, confirmed the incident on Monday in Jos. According to Tiope, the gunmen attacked the university premises on Sunday night and killed the student. Tiope said that no suspect had yet been arrested in connection with the attack and called those with useful information to avail it to the security agencies. The PPRO said the students of the university had staged a protest on Monday to express their displeasure over the incident. He, however, said the arrival of officers and men of the command to the scene had restored normalcy to the university community. 6 temporary shops were burnt down at Kofa Rural Market in Kano on Sunday night as firefighters battled to curtail its spread. The public relations officer of the State Fire Service, Malan Saidu Mohammed, told the newsmen in Kano on Monday that 6 shops were affected by the fire incident, which source was yet to be identified. He said a distress call from one Usman Danladi was received at about 10:10 p.m. saying that there was fire outbreak at the market. He, however, said that there were no casualties, but that property yet to be estimated were lost to the fire outbreak. He advised traders to be more careful and desist from using instruments capable of triggering fire as a way of guarding against future occurrence. Mohammed also advised residents to keep fire buckets, blankets, and extinguishers at home to enable them to curtail fire outbreak before calling on the fire service. He said the cause of the fire was still unknown, but that investigation has begun. You're still watching Clearview Television News. The news continues after this timeout.
Night concert is the secret of cheap viewing. All you have to do, just get your decoder, any free-to-air decoder at all, and tell the installer to track it to Night concert.
So you get all your latest news from there.
It's only that, entertainment, Hausa programs, sports, even news from the villa and plenty other things.
And I've been burning my money on that company from Southeast Africa or Northeast Africa or somewhere. I'll be back.
When are you going
to get my decoder, of course.
It's switch over time. Nigeria Communication Satellite Night Concert. It is viewed in about 38 countries. No subscription. Just buy the free-to-air decoder. Be part of this, and you have access to Clearview Television 24 hours, 7 days.
Welcome back. The National Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with the United Nations and other relevant social bodies, has launched a national corruption survey through which it hopes to create more awareness on the Nigerian government's anti-corruption crusade. Briefing newsmen in Abuja on Monday, the project director Isiaka Olawale says the essence of the corruption survey is to get experienced and knowledgeable people on corruption matters to help provide relevant information on the pattern of corruption and possible strategies for eliminating corruption in the governance process. Clearview TV's Joy Esekwe has the details.
The National Bureau of Statistics oversees and publishes statistics for Nigeria, makes arrangements for and inspects statistical work and economics accounting work at national or local levels. As it moves to join in the anti-corruption crusade with the launch of a national survey, the project director, Isiaka Olawale, urged Nigerians to relay any corruption-related issues to the National Bureau of Statistics in order to facilitate the proper capturing, assistance, and research in findings.
And the enumerators or interviewers are expected to spend between 2 to 3 weeks in the field. So this round, it is expected that data collection will be concluded on or before 20th of June 2019. So we are, by this forum, trying to address all our sample respondents.
Isiaka assured that all information received by the Bureau will be treated with utmost confidentiality and makes measures will be taken to protect the identity of informants.
Our field staff and feel free to express their opinion. They should know that information given to National Bureau of Statistics can never be used against anybody in the course of legal matter. So they should be free and cooperate with our team of interviewers. So, thank you.
He further assured Nigerians that concrete steps will be taken to assure accuracy and validity of the results of the survey, which will be made public on or before September 2019. Joy Esekwe reporting for Clearview Television.
The Nigerian Police and the Importers Association of Nigeria, IMAN, have sealed up a company that is said to be engaged in the manufacturing of fake and substandard goods using fake trademarks. The company, owned by a Chinese and some Nigerian collaborators, specializes in the manufacturing of electric bulbs and cables which the Importers Association of Nigeria discovered to be substandard and unfit for use in Nigeria. Acting Director General of Iman, Chijioke Okoro, says the association and the police, upon a tip-off by concerned Nigerians, carried out surveillance on the company, leading to the arrest of the Chinese national and his collaborators.
So I came here and invited them so that they can come and clear the allegation before us. And one of the allegations is that they are operating with fake trademark and design certificates. And from the documents with us, we found out that there was a report written by the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment confirming that this is a fake certificate. And they are still operating with it, intimidating others that have the authentic one. So that is why we came here. Let them come and clear it. Show us that they are original certificate. We have a lot of reports from different departments against their own certificate.
The Director General says the crackdown on the manufacturers of fake products in the country will continue in all parts of Nigeria to ensure that goods meet required standards and warned importers to avoid bringing substandard products into the country. 32-year-old Adebo Ogundoyin, a member representing Ibarapa East area, has emerged the Speaker of the 9th Oyo State House of Assembly. Ogundoyin emerged unopposed and with the unanimous vote of the 32 members assembly. Ogundoyin, a graduate of Babcock University's emergence, is favored by a combination of factors such as his party affiliation, zoning consideration, and experience, being one of the 4 returning lawmakers to the 9th Assembly on the platform of the ruling People's Democratic Party. In the same vein, the lawmaker representing Ona-Ara State constituency also emerged the deputy speaker through the unanimous vote of the lawmakers. The event was witnessed by the Governor Sheyi Makinde, his deputy Rauf Olaniyan, among other top government functionaries and stakeholders. Member representing Just East constituency in Plateau State House of Assembly, Honorable Abok Nuhu Ayuba, has emerged Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly. The position of Speaker was zoned to Plateau North Senatorial Zone, comprising 8 state lawmakers. Abok emerged after a month of political horse trading among the 8 contenders. It was a hot race between old-timers and first-timers. Abok, the 34-year-old lawmaker, is a first-time lawmaker representing Just East constituency. He is a graduate of both the University of Jos, graduated in 2011, and the Plateau State Polytechnic, finished in 2007. And he is married to Janet N. Abok with 2 children. The feud between Governor Godwin Obaseki and his predecessor, Comrade Adams Oshomole, has stalled the proclamation of the 7th Edo State House Assembly. All the 24 lawmakers elected to the Edo Assembly are members of the All Progressives Congress. Some lawmakers elected to the 7th Assembly have expressed reservations over the date fixed for their inauguration. The 6th Assembly ended last week with the former Speaker, Honorable Kabiru Ajoto, adjourning sitting Senate-Dai. Checks show that only 8 lawmakers were re-elected to the 7th Assembly, while 16 new lawmakers are to be inaugurated. Sources said the battle within the ranks of the Edo APC has shifted to the Assembly as both sides plot to control majority of the lawmakers. There was, however, heavy security presence at the gate of the Assembly complex. Many APC supporters who had gone to witness the inauguration were turned back. State Secretary of the Edo APC, Lawrence Oka, said they were waiting for a letter of proclamation from Governor Obaseki as instituted in the law. It was gathered that Oshomole is pushing for Victor Edoro to be made Speaker, while Governor Obaseki preferred Frank Okiye. Both Okiye and Edoro hail from Edo Central, where the position of Speaker is supposedly zoned to. One of the newly elected lawmakers said the unresolved issues between Oshomole and Obaseki was responsible for the delayed proclamation of a new assembly. To allow extradition to mainland China, Hundreds of thousands of people on Sunday rallied against the bill, which critics fear allows China to target political opponents in the region. Speaking with reporters on Monday, she insisted that the law would in no way erode any of the special freedoms the territory enjoys. She also promised legally binding human rights safeguards and regular reports of implementation of cases to the legislature. Organizers estimate that 1 million people took part in Sunday's march, although police put the figure at 240,000 at its peak. At least 3 police officers and a journalist were injured when violence broke out between protesters and police. It is the largest demonstration in Hong Kong since the territory was handed over to China by the British in 1997. A leading organizer of the protest, Jimmy Shun, said another rally will be held on Wednesday when the second reading of the bill will be debated by legislators. The march was seen as a major rebuke of Lam, who has pushed for the amendment to be passed before July. 6 out of 8 men accused of murdering an 8-year-old Muslim girl in Indian-administered Kashmir after raping and torturing her have been found guilty in a specially convened fast-track court. The victim, who belonged to a Muslim nomadic tribe, was found in a forest near Katwa city in January 2018. The case made headlines when Hindu right-wing groups and lawyers protested over the arrest of the 8 men. All of them had pleaded not guilty to the charges against them. One of them, the son of one of those convicted, has been acquitted. The 8 accused include a retired government official, 4 police officers, and a minor. The minor will be tried separately in accordance with the India's Juvenile Act, which is why only 7 people were subject to Monday's court verdict. The child's mother has demanded capital punishment for 2 of those convicted, retired government officer Sanjay Ran and police officer Deepak Kajurya, claiming that they were the masterminds behind the crime. The Katwa rape and murder was one among many high-profile cases that prompted India to introduce a new law which mandated the death penalty to anyone convicted of raping a child under 12. A man appeared in court on Monday after allegedly causing a stampede at a gay pride parade in the United States, which left 7 people needing hospital treatment. The man, named as 38-year-old Afterbridge, saying, allegedly waved a BB gun, which fires small metal ball projectiles in the capital, Washington, on Saturday. Sain has been charged with illegal possession of a BB gun, carrying a dangerous weapon, and disorderly conduct. A number of people reported hearing gunshots before the crowd fled, with officials maintaining there is no evidence that shots were fired. Police said the 7 people taken to hospital had non-life-threatening injuries, which they suffered during the panic. Organizers of the parade, Capital Pride, said in a statement on Twitter that all of their events would continue with safety precautions in place. Gay Pride is celebrated around the world in June, with some parades organized on or around June 28 to mark the anniversary of a police raid on the Stonewall in New York City. During the raid in 1969, the bar's patrons fought back and inspired the modern LGBT rights movement. The UK and South Korea have signed an outline free trade agreement that seeks to maintain existing trade arrangements post-Brexit. International Trade Secretary Leon Force signed the deal with his South Korean counterpart Yo Myung-hee in Seoul. Force said the value of trade between the UK and Korea has more than doubled since the EU-Korea agreement was applied in 2011. The preliminary agreement, which marks the first post-Brexit trade deal the UK has secured in Asia, is roughly in line with the terms of the existing Korea-EU FTA. The deal would cover South Korean exports including cars and auto parts. South Korea exports mostly cars and ships to Britain, while it imports crude oil, cars and whiskey. The agreement is designed to provide stability under a no-deal Brexit, with the UK due to leave the EU on 31 October, with or without a deal. Both countries are to ratify the deal by the end of October and implement it in November. The UK is South Korea's second largest trading partner among EU members, and the Asian nation's 18th largest trading partner. And you're still watching Clearview Television News. Next is the sports news with Tolulope Oguntimeyin.
This used to be me. But that was before I got the perfect bag. It's handy and easy to use. All I need in one compact space, just like my MTN Extra Value plan. I used to get one plan for my calls and then try to remember which data plan worked for me. Roaming was a totally different ballgame. Not anymore. I've got the MTN Extra Value all-in-one plan. If you're a data buff like me, you get extra data with some talk time. And if you like to make calls, you get extra talk time with some data. And when I'm abroad, I automatically browse, chat, and call right on the same plan. MTN Extra Value was made just for me.
More of data or calls, whichever one you prefer. MTN Extra Value is made just for you.
Hello and welcome to the sporting segment of Clearview Television. I'm Oguntimeyin Tolulope Oguntimeyin. Three-time champion Nigeria have conducted their first training section since arriving in Egyptian city of Ismaila early Monday morning for a one-week intensive pre-AFCON campaign. At the airport to receive the Nigeria contingent were Emmanuel Ogutoyi, a member of the Nigerian embassy in Cairo, Mohamed Tuko Gaba, administrative attaché, who represented the Nigerian ambassador to the Arab Republic of Egypt. A number of technical and tactical sessions are scheduled for this week before the Eagles go up against Senegal's Teranga Lions on Sunday evening in the final friendly match before the finals. At a friendly game at the Hive in London in March 2017, both teams set for a 1-0 draw, with Musa Sow putting the Lions ahead 9 minutes into the second half before Kelechi Iheanacho tied the game from the penalty spot with only 9 minutes to go. Nigeria are up against Burundi Itambaru Mugamba, Guinea Sili National and Madagascar Barrier in Group B of the 32nd African Cup of Nations, with Alessandra as the venue. The Super Falcons are fully settled into their Meko Grenoble Center President Hotel in the city of Grenoble ahead of Wednesday make-or-break FIFA Women's World Cup clash with Korea Republic. Players and officials flew into Grenoble at 1 p.m. on Sunday and arrived at the hotel an hour later in time for lunch. Defeat by Norway in Reims on Saturday was quickly forgotten as soon as the delegation left the city, and all eyes and mind are now on the clash with Korea Republic at the Stade des Alpes on Wednesday evening. That must not go wrong. Korea's margin of defeat by France, who thumped them 4-0 at the Parc des Princes in Paris in the championship opening match, means Nigeria is third in the poll. And being a 24-team tournament, the African champions will be in a good stead to reach this round of 16 if they brought the Koreans aside on Wednesday and hold France to a stalemate in Rennes on 17 June. They can then hope to be among the 4 best third-place teams to advance from the group stage. President of Nigeria Football Federation Amaju Melvin Pinnick, who watched the defeat by Norway in Reims on Saturday, alongside Second Vice President Shehu Diko, General Secretary Mohamed Sanusi, and Executive Committee member Aisha Falode, charged the Falcons to overcome the loss to the Scandinavians and plot a surefire strategy that will extract the 3 points from the Asians on Wednesday. Kano Pillars captain Rabiu Ali has been fingered in the mayhem that happened after the match between Kano Pillars and Enugu Rangers. Pillars, who needed a straight win, consolidate on their lead, shot into the lead in 56 minutes when a beautifully taken free kick by Captain Rabiu Ali rested on the far angle of the net. Rangers, however, equalized in the 89th minute when the Rangers players was brought down in Pillars' 18-meter box, and the referee did not hesitate to point to the penalty spot, a kick which Godwin Agoda brilliantly dispatched. The call did not go down with the Pillars fans as they started hurling stakes, bottle of waters inside the pitch. Then at the blast of the final whistle, Captain Rabiu Ali immediately approached the center referee, shoving him aside, and fight broke out. The fans jumped into the pitch and started attacking the referees, and the players' officials were not left out of the show of shame as they joined in attacking the referees, despite knowing that the match was live on satellite TV. Former Super Eagles striker Patrick Pascal has emerged winner of the Bauchi State FA elections. Pascal polled 13 out of the 26 votes cast, while incumbent Yauza came third with 3 votes, and Zalani scored 8 votes. The former Gengle Beligi striker was named the Super Eagles team coordinator in 2015, while he has been able to bring his wealth of experience to bear at the national team. Pascal joined his playing days play for Wunti FC of Bauchi before joining the foreign train when he signed for Gengle Beligi in 1996, before moving to play for other European clubs like RTSK and Royal Antwerp. Former FCT Football League champions and one of the nation's capital representative in the Federation Cup, Cetraco FC, may not participate in Nigeria Nationwide League 3. Cetraco secured slot to play in the Nationwide League by virtue of winning the promotion playoff that was held in Kwara State. The team has not registered for this season NLO, despite few days to the commencement of the league. A reliable source in Cetraco revealed that since the team coordinator Mr. Lee has been down to ill health, the other officials have been showing apathy towards the team. Preparation for the participation in the Nigeria Nationwide League has been haphazard, while preparation for Federation Cup has been hampered with challenges. The team against All Odds came second in just concluded 2019 FCT Federation Cup, where they lost to EFCC in the final. Central went ahead to be their opponent in the preliminaries of the Nigeria National Federation Cup held in Nasarawa State to qualify for the round of 32, where they will take on former Nigerian Premier League champions, Plateau United. The registration of players has commenced ahead of the 2019 basketball season for the Total National Division 1 and 2 men's leagues, as well as the Zenith Women Basketball League. The registration for the Total Nationwide Division 2 League, which started on Saturday, June 8, will end 17th of June 2019, while the players for the Total National Division 2 and Zenith Women Basketball League, which started on the same day, will end on the 28th of June 2019, ahead of the new season. With 74 teams set to participate in Division 2, state preliminaries will be played between June 24th and July 27th, 2019, while the zonal playoff will be held between August 4th and 25th before going on break for the FIBA Men's World Cup and the Afro Basketball for women. The conference playoff will take place from October 18 to 27th before the national finals coming up from November 11 to 18, after which 4 teams will be promoted to Division 1. The 12 teams in the Total National Division 1 will have their players' registration through Affiliated State Basketball Association ahead of the conference playoff starting from July 2nd to 18. The national finals will run from September 16 and 30 to its venue to be decided by the Federation. In the Zenith Women Basketball League, First Bank Club of Lagos will begin their title defense on the 1st of July. The 2019 season will see the introduction of home and away format with 24 teams divided into 4 groups. And that's it from the sporting segment of Clearview Television. I'm Oguntimehin to Lulapo Oguntimehin.
There it is. What a shot from Tiger. And the Jamaican juggernaut scores his first goal for a professional side. And
Thank you, Tolulokbo Oguntimehin. And before we go, another look at our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday assented to the Public Holiday Amendment Bill into law, which officially stopped recognizing May 29 as Democracy Day. Nigeria has welcomed the Italian government's support towards helping to recover and repatriate illegally deposited Nigerian assets in foreign countries. Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam says despite mass protests, she is not scrapping the controversial plan to allow extradition to mainland China. That's the news. Remember that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel via Clearview TV. Like us on Facebook via Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter via Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at Clearview TV_NG. You can also watch Clearview TV on Night Concert with any free-to-air decoder. For details, contact your local installer. I am Rose Audu. Many thanks for watching.